Let's talk about HTML image tag. Okay, so the HTML image tag is used to display image on the web page. And this particular tag is an empty tag that will contain attributes only. So the closing tags are not used in HTML image element. So just like I have written here, as you can see, we just have the opening tag. We don't have any closing tag or any content surrounded by the opening and the closing tag. And one other thing that you need to note here is that the src attribute here and the alt attribute here are very important attributes of the HTML image tag. Okay, for example, the src attribute here is very necessary attribute that will describe the source or the path of the image that we want to display on our web page. So here we have not yet specified the path or the source of the image. So what the src does is that it instructs the web browser where to look for the image, whether on the server or on another directory. Another important thing to note also about the source attribute here is that the location of the image may be on the same directory or on another server, maybe on the internet, okay, or on another server. And then we have another attribute, which is the alternate text attribute. So the alt attribute defines an alternate text for the image. If for whatever reason the image is not able to be displayed on the web page. So for example, here we've not specified the source of the image. There you can see the alternate text showing on our web page. Okay, so that's basically the use of this particular attribute. And it is also most of the time recommended that the value of the alternate text attribute describe the image in words. And it's because the alternate attribute is also considered very good, very important for SEO purposes. Another attribute that we can talk about is the width attribute. So this is going to be an optional attribute which is used to specify the width of the image to be displayed. So it is recommended. It is not really recommended because sometimes people would tell you that it is most important to use CSS, to apply CSS in place of the width attribute. Okay, but for the purpose of the video, we're going to see just that. And then we have another attribute which is also optional, which is the height attribute. Okay, that is going to be used to specify the height of the image, like this. Okay, so let's just copy the link of this particular image and paste it here. So if we do that, now you can see that the image is showing on the screen. And then the browser is going to pick the original width and height of that particular image. So what if we want to specify the width of the image? So we can say width 140 here, for example. Now you can see how the browser has taken into account the width that we've just specified in the code. We can also specify the height, and we will say 180, for example. Now you can see just that. What if we increase the width and the height? So that's how it's going to show on the screen. And I also talked about the use of the alternate text here. So we can use the alternate text attribute with this image tag. So it's going to display an alternative text in case if the image cannot be displayed on the browser. So just to show you what I mean by that is that here, what I'm going to do is that I will remove this so that the link to the image will not be correct. So now if I remove this portion, now you can see the alternate text will show because the browser is not able to display the image. So instead of displaying the image, it's going to give us the alternate text because that's the rule. And I also talked to you about the fact that the image can be displayed from another directory. Okay, so if you want to display an image from another directory, you need to know the path to the image into that particular directory. Okay, but most of the time, the image is going to be saved in the same directory than the web page, and most of the time, that's basically recommended. Another thing that we can talk about is that we can use the image as a link. Like if I put back my the source of the image here, and we want to make that particular image a link, so we're going to use the anchor tag. I will say ahref equal, inside the href, I'm going to specify the link, https /www.pixabay.com, for example. So this is just an example. And if you do that, so you have to surround your image tag with the anchor tag. So now the image tag is surrounded by the anchor tag. And you will see that when I put my cursor on the image, the shape of the mouse is going to change. And if I click on that, it's going to redirect on Pixabay website. Let me add the target _blank like this. Okay, so when I click, now it opens Pixabay in another tab. So this is how you can render your image as a link. You can use your image as a link. So you surround the image with the anchor or hyperlink tag. So guys, I hope the video was informative enough how to use the image tag, the various attributes that you can use with the image tag, the most important attributes, which are the source attribute and the alternative text attribute. About the width and the height attributes, they are optional. Most of the time, it's recommended to use CSS in order to, modify the width and the height of the image. Okay, and I also showed you how you can actually use your image as a link. Okay, so if you have any question, feel free to write your question in the comment section, and feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Let's meet in the next video.